We are now 20 years since Bill Gates stepped down as CEO of Microsoft. When he stepped down, Microsoft was a much simpler company, making nearly 50% of its revenue, or $10 billion, from Microsoft Office. At the time, the Office package included Clipit, the cartoon paperclip, PowerPoint, and Excel. The other part of the company was the ubiquitous Windows operating system that made over $9 billion. That was it. The Xbox had not yet even been released. Fast forward to 2020 and things have changed. Its new CEO, Satya Nadella, describes Microsoft as,
So Microsoft, in that sense, is a much more diversified portfolio with linkages between them. That's, I think, how we're going to keep going forward.
Bill Gates still has a voice in Microsoft, but his role is severely diminished.
And usually when you get a weekend mail from Bill, you kind of wait and see whether do I really want to open it now or and I opened it, and I've been working with Bill for a long time, and it started by saying, wow, I've never seen those words from him and never heard those words, and he was really thrilled to see us make progress. Of course, he had a long list of other things we need to be working on as well.
However, what is consistent is Microsoft's success. And under Nadella, it has greatly increased its value, making nearly $53 billion in pre-tax profit in 2020, up from $11 billion in 2000. In late 2020, Microsoft fights with other tech titans, including Amazon and Apple, for supremacy. However, unlike these two giants, Microsoft is in so many different businesses that many may not know what it does anymore. This video will go through how Microsoft makes money today. Welcome to The Market is Open. Please hit the like button at any time during the video if you are enjoying our content. We make financial documentary and educational videos such as this one. Also check out our second channel, TMIO Tesla. Satya Nadella mentioned that Microsoft is now a digital conglomerate with a diverse set of businesses that are seemingly linked together. So what are these businesses? Let's start with the most familiar, Microsoft Office. Office has continued to grow and it now has over 1.2 billion users. And it made over $35 billion of revenue in 2020. Surprisingly, it is still Microsoft's biggest segment in terms of revenue. However, in 2000, Office was 46% of revenue, while in 2020, it is only 25%. Microsoft has continued to improve the software over the years, adding new applications like OneNote, which makes it easier to take notes for students, and OneDrive, which helps store files on the internet. It also launched Teams in 2017, which is an application for business employees to communicate more easily. The idea is that group emails can get messy, so this is a way to have organized messages among employees. Teams has had incredible growth, and in April 2020, Microsoft announced that it had more than 75 million active users, which surpassed many rivals. Teams also has advanced video calling features, such as allowing up to 1,000 people in a call at a time, so it also competes with Zoom. Unfortunately, it is only available for businesses. Another difference is that Microsoft Office now makes 80% of its revenue from a yearly subscription fee compared to 0% in 2000. This subscription model has been lucrative and revenue has grown dramatically. But Office is not Microsoft's only productivity software. It also has Microsoft Dynamics, which is designed to help businesses grow. The goal of Dynamics and products like Dynamics are to increase business efficiency in two main ways. The first is with Customer Relationship Management Software, or CRM. Let's explain what a CRM is. Customer Relationship Management Software was originally built to help a company's salespeople better interact with customers, such as tracking customer contact information, tracking price quotes, and invoices. But CRM has evolved from this basic idea and now has more features that include chatbots, which handle customer concerns, and other services, including marketing products, where software identifies when is the best time to contact clients by email to increase sales. So essentially, CRM is software that helps increase a business's relationship with its customer. The other way Dynamics makes revenue is through ERP software. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, and this type of software is generally used by a company's financial analysts and operational teams. For example, analysts can record and analyze accounting entries and then view financials. Also, they can better analyze inventory to improve efficiency and costs. Dynamics is growing rapidly, and it now has over $3 billion in revenue, but it is not nearly as big as the leaders in the industry. In CRM, the leader is Salesforce, and in ERP, the leader is the mighty German company SAP. However, Dynamics should not be overlooked because Microsoft has ways to bundle Dynamics with its other products, as we saw with a recent onboarding of Coca-Cola. Also, Dynamics links well with another Microsoft platform that helps businesses connect with customers, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is Microsoft's biggest acquisition ever, and it was acquired in 2016 for over $26 billion. It has grown substantially since it was acquired and now makes over $8 billion in revenue, up from $3 billion pre-acquisition. LinkedIn is a rare tech company. It is large, profitable, and for some reason, it does not have any competitors. LinkedIn makes money in several ways, including charging a company to post jobs, offering advertising services, and many users actually pay for premium services. Premium services can help users find jobs more quickly. Both LinkedIn and Dynamics link well together, but what people are most excited about in late 2020 is a different product, Microsoft's cloud platform called Azure. But be careful, Microsoft Cloud aficionados will get upset unless you call it Azure, and this segment has a lot of fans. This is because Azure is growing rapidly. In 2020, it had $20 billion of revenue, up from essentially nothing in 2015. Its growth is so rapid that Microsoft is catching up with Amazon Web Services, who is the leader in the cloud space. Azure now has 18% market share compared to 33% of Amazon, which perhaps may not sound close, but Azure had only 9% in 2016 compared to 50% of Amazon. With its success, Satya Nadella has made bold claims about the future, saying,
The question is, in order to support all of this, we are building the world's computer in Azure. With Azure, we have more regions than any other public cloud.
But what does this world's computer even mean, and what is Azure? Many rightly credit Amazon as being well ahead of the curve by launching the first cloud platform, Amazon Web Services, in 2006. But Microsoft was actually secretly working on Azure at the same time under the codename Red Dog.
So Windows Azure. It wasn't actually originally called that, was it? They had.
It was called Red Dog.
Red Dog. Now, I liked Red Dog. I thought that was a great name. Why Azure? I don't know. Why change it?
Red Dog was being architected by Ray Ozzie, who is a noted legendary programmer, and we discuss his importance to the tech industry in our Decline of IBM video. Ozzie joined Microsoft in 2006, and he noticed something very unsettling.
Anyways, there was a lot of PC thinking. The PC was still the center of how most people thought about things. And it was a little scary because by that time, I had, a perspective that said there is this transformation happening.
Ozzie began architecting Azure, which was launched in 2009. His vision was that Azure would be,
I mean, what it really means to me, what differentiates it is it's a self-service, on-demand way of accessing computational resources, storage resources, things like that, with a virtualized abstraction so that that is relatively homogeneous.
In case Ozzie's definition of the cloud is unclear, let's explain. First, a self-service, on-demand way to access computational resources just means you are using Microsoft's computer instead of your own to run something. So anyone can log in through the Azure portal and set up their own Microsoft computer. But again, what does this even mean? Well, here's an example of a guy using an old laptop that is very slow, but his game is running quickly. This is because the computation for the game is actually being run on a different computer in the cloud. So his computer is only responsible for the internet and the computer screen, which is displaying the game. His computer is not responsible for any of the complex calculations. So this is a clear benefit of the cloud because it means you can run powerful programs without having a powerful computer, and one can rent almost any computer they want with any speed or power. Another benefit is one can pay only for this computer when it's used. In addition, the cloud allows for near infinite storage. For example, Mobileye, an autonomous driving leader, is storing hundreds of petabytes of autonomous driving data in the cloud. For size references, 1 petabyte is 1,000 terabytes, and each terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. So this is equivalent of about 1 billion hours of YouTube driving videos. In addition, a user can choose various pricing options depending on how frequently they want to access this data. If it's almost never, one can pay the cheap archive price, or if accessing more frequently, the user can pay higher prices. The benefit of the cloud is companies can save a lot of money because previously a business had to buy their own computer, which they like to call a server. A server is just a computer with high reliability, High reliability means less blue screens of death, meaning less downtime, and thus servers are a lot more expensive compared to the typical personal computer. But why is buying a server a problem? Well, say you're a flower company with a website. What happens on Mother's Day when traffic greatly increases? Do you buy a new server just to handle the extra computational power needed for this one weekend? Previously, you would have to do this. With a cloud platform, you can buy more computation on just Mother's Day and buy less the next day. There are other advantages, like being able to buy servers in other countries, which can allow for foreign business expansion. Microsoft points out,
We have 61 data center regions today, more than any other cloud provider, and more compliance certifications with 90 plus.
lots of data centers mean many customers would prefer to use Azure, as being close to a data center increases their speed. Then the question becomes, if people are just renting commodity servers, then why are Microsoft and Amazon leading the pack? Well, good cloud companies also make a developer's life easier. For example, on Azure, you can quickly rent a server and choose between many operating systems to near instantly put them on your computer in the cloud. Good cloud companies also streamline processes that happen frequently. Here is an example of someone creating a powerful website more quickly using some pre-built-in features in Azure. This means building a website is easier because Microsoft has already done many of the things like security and ensuring the website manages traffic correctly, among many other things. People in the cloud industry call this feature a service. Another service Azure offers is to quickly extract your data to build statistical models. Azure has hundreds of these services, which makes developers' lives easier. In addition, large cloud platforms like Azure and Amazon benefit because many third-party companies want to develop more services on its platform, which customers can then buy. This is called a marketplace, and this helps enhance Microsoft's lead. Growth in the cloud is still accelerating. In 2019, the cloud market was estimated to be a massive $260 billion, but by 2027, it is estimated to be near $1 trillion, an incredible 18% compound annual growth rate. So Microsoft has plenty of opportunities for growth in Azure. But one of the reasons it has potential for even more growth than Amazon is because many of its customers don't yet use the cloud, and these customers are currently using Microsoft's server products. Before there was this thing called cloud, many companies bought servers, and these servers were stored in their offices, or if they were a really big company, in data centers. Microsoft owned this server market. This is because many of these clients installed the Windows Server operating system. Microsoft made about $8 billion in 2020 from selling the Microsoft operating system, which was installed on servers. It made a further $13 billion selling its database software called Microsoft SQL Server that was also installed on these servers. Microsoft SQL Server is one of the most powerful and popular databases in the world, and it rivals Oracle for leadership. Databases are critical for businesses to record data, but some may wonder why not just use Excel to store data, and some people even call Excel a database. However, programs like Excel have problems storing the massive amount of data required for big business. For example, Excel has only 1 million rows, which may sound like a lot until compared to SQL Server, which can store over 50 trillion. In addition, Excel can be easily changed by accident, making it unreliable. In addition, databases benefit because they can quickly find information in humongous datasets. Here is a Microsoft demo where they ask a question from 1 trillion rows of data, and in 100 seconds they are able to get an answer to the question and find the average price of certain products. Owning SQL Server is an important differentiator for Microsoft going forward, as it can offer these customers who use SQL Server but have not yet switched to the cloud discounts to switch to Microsoft Azure instead of using Amazon. Microsoft also makes about $1 billion in revenue from coding products that are used by developers. For example, one of these products is GitHub, which Microsoft bought in 2018 for $7.5 billion. GitHub is the largest developer platform in the world, and it allows developers to better collaborate and store code. People may wonder why Microsoft bought this business when there is not a lot of money in coding software, but it's actually a strategic way for Microsoft to convince developers to use Azure. Why? Because Microsoft specifically makes GitHub better integrate with Azure. So if you're a developer, this makes your life easier, then you're happier, then you choose Azure, not Amazon Web Services. Microsoft also has a growing consulting division that made over $6 billion in revenue. This business helps companies better integrate Microsoft products. But what about the Windows operating system? The history of Windows goes back even farther than Office, and it goes all the way back to 1985. and it's had many iterations over the years. But its final version, Windows 10, was released in 2015, meaning Microsoft will update the software, but it will always be called Windows 10 from now on. Windows, like Office, is still very important, and it's actually Microsoft's second biggest revenue product, making over $22 billion in 2020, or 16% of revenue. This is still big, but it's a lot lower than the 40% of revenue it made in 2000. Windows is still the dominant operating system with over 88% of the personal computer market. Windows makes money in two ways. One, there's a license fee from hardware manufacturers like Lenovo who sell personal computers, and there were over 260 million PCs sold in 2019. However, PC sales have been declining, so Microsoft has boosted Windows revenue by convincing businesses to pay around $10 per month for each employee who uses the enterprise version of Windows. The enterprise version offers more security features, such as being able to do a virus check on any employee's computer. It also allows for more customization like deleting apps such as the Windows Store. Microsoft also made nearly $6.5 billion of revenue in 2020 from selling devices like its Surface products. The Surface line is a bit confusing because it's no longer just tablets with a kickstand. Microsoft now has many products. For example, one can buy a Surface laptop which does not have a kickstand, or one can buy the Surface Book, which does detach. Okay, let's move to Microsoft's final two products, and some may laugh at the first one.
And I think I probably did some of my very best work at the company after Bill left, actually.
Really? Like what?
Pushed us into Bing, sustained that investment.
This was its second CEO, Steve Ballmer. While Bing is not as big as Google, it has continued to grow revenue, and perhaps Microsoft can eventually boost its popularity. Finally, there is the Xbox gaming division, which had $11.5 billion of revenue in 2020, but this division hasn't grown much since 2009. Microsoft's newest console, released in late 2020, is called the Xbox Series X, and it faces off against the PlayStation 5. For a final summary, we have attached a free sheet on our Patreon page showing all the products we just discussed that you can view and download. The link is in the description. Microsoft is a very different company today. It is definitely what its current CEO, Satya Nadella, describes as a company with many different products and linkages.
So Microsoft, in that sense, is a much more diversified portfolio with linkages between them. That's, I think, how we're going to keep going forward.
All right.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And let us know in the comments what you think is Microsoft's most interesting segment.